What's going on, guys? So today on this SHOKY review, we're taking a look at something new-ish from the Bandai Spirits Figurized Standard line, and it is from the Digimon kits, I guess. I don't even know how to say it. Oh, it's bad. Alright, so it is their version of WARGREYMON. And we have, of course, looked at a WARGREYMON before. A significantly larger one. But this is their normal version of WARGREYMON, which is interesting. So, I guess they just decided, look, we did the amplified line for a while now. Let's go ahead and put out the same things, but non-amplified, and see where we get. So, right here, we have some very nice artwork of WARGREYMON doing some fire stuff, and there's a lightning bolt and things like that. You see his little thumb hanging out there. Seems like a very, not a great way to grip something, trying to hold on to a thing like that. Seems weird. Let's see here. Got Bandai Spirits 2021. So this one actually came out a little while ago, if I'm honest with you. So I said it's not that new. And you got all the kind of reading going on down there. Reading is for people who like to read. And we come to the bottom, and you've got, well, all kinds of different poses going on there. Hold on, let's see here. What does it say? Its wide range of articulation can be used to recreate movements from the series, such as action poses, with it wielding the Draymon Killers and the Gaia Force finisher poses. So yeah, the things are called Draymon Killers. And then we got over here, it's like, the color scheme of the chrome Digizoid armor and other parts of the body are based on the anime settings. The brave shield on its back can be moved to create the crest of courage. Sure can. Just some really nice shots of the whole thing right there. And come around to the side there, you got Figurized Standard, looking good, WARGREYMON, repeat of the box art, Bandai logo right there, Digimon logo going on right there. This is Digimon Adventure. Okay, got it. And if you come around here, you got Comes Unpainted. Like it had paint and then it just loses it. Comes unpainted. Alright, let's see here. Runners that adopt multiple parts colors allow for the recreation of beautiful colors just by assembling the kit without painting. It's not true. And then you got the obligatory front and rear shot right there. Looks pretty good. Let's read this right here. Let's see. This Digimon was featured in Digimon Adventure anime series. It's a Mega Digimon that digivolved due to the courage of Taichi Yagami and his partner Agumon, who faced a powerful foe even in desperate situation without giving up. It has sophisticated humanoid form, and its speed and powers have been dramatically enhanced. It fought alongside Metal Garurumon, another Mega Evolution Digimon, to eliminate the darkness that invaded their world. I almost got through all of that. This is telling you can use nippers and stuff like that, and then you got PSPE, and then the little guy with the toilet. No glue required. You're a liar. You're a liar, liar, liar of a box. Okay, not so much a liar as an inconvenient truth. So, new version of WARGREYMON, still upside down. Though it's really strange, I feel like they should have done this first, and then the amplified one. But maybe that's just me. Or, I don't know, a 2-pack of them would have been interesting. But either way, let's get to it. Oh my god, he's so small and yellow. Alright, so here we have WARGREYMON in his nice little form. And not gonna lie, this was a fairly easy kit. Like, comparatively, these, I say these because of course we have a Metal Garurumon coming very soon. Very easy. I mean, like, the only thing that got me was the fact that I did do some paint work on this one. I'm gonna kind of come in here close, and all of the red I painted. So, I mean, while it comes molded in color, as the box makes sure you know. Oh, I am missing a light. I was wondering why it seemed a little darker. While it comes molded in color, I went ahead and painted all of the red with some Tamiya Italian red, just to give it a nice shine, give it a different look. Otherwise, it's actually a very matte red. And then even here on the shoulder spikes, I made sure I masked that off and painted it. That actually is what took so long, was masking that off. Much like with the previous Gundam kit we looked at, where I had to do a lot of masking, which took up all the build time. And then I did hand paint. I'm going to zoom in on his head here. Treated like an action figure, more or less. There we go. I did hand paint the stripes on the horns, although you get stickers for that. You also do get stickers for those. I just didn't feel like using them, if I'm honest. I did, however, use the stickers for the eyes, because I wasn't about to paint that. I will say, one thing that is actually kind of unsightly is this seam going right down the middle of his head. I almost feel like they should have layered this, like the helmet comes down, and then you plug the horns in. That feels like it would have made more sense than splitting it down the middle. So while we're here, oh, by the way, the hair is also painted. Looks pretty good. He does have a ball joint mounted neck, so even though there is a ball joint at the top, the top does nothing. It's all completely encased. And the bottom goes down here into the chest, which gives you that much movement until it inevitably pops off that socket. I like the silver and kind of, you know, German gray kind of breakup there. It looks pretty good. Now, of course, I could have painted that if I wanted to. I did not. And you can tell here, it does have the silver plastic swirling going on. I did panel line it with straight up regular panel line marker. I have some pour type markers coming because I need them for a specific event that, of course, is coming up very shortly, which is why I'm getting all these reviews out of the way. I will say, the only place I did really utilize stickers instead of trying to paint it all was back here on the backpack, because frankly, I remember how big of a pain it was to paint the other version, and I just said, screw it, I'll use the stickers. Now, they're not great, and even though there is a slight recess to everywhere on there, it is not the best. And yes, you can make the crest of courage if you want to do that. Otherwise, it's the brave shield, which makes up his wings. Now, due to the double ball joint pegs here, this is about as much movement as you get side to side. You can move up and down a little bit. Each one can, of course, move on its own, but then they run into each other. So that kind of defeats its own purpose. Let's see here. It does have a ball joint mounted waist, which gives you some movement. You can rotate. Now let's talk about the shoulders here. Due to the shoulder spikes and the way this works, like, you get a little bit of a butterfly joint here, and you get a good bit of movement, but you have to make sure your shoulder armor goes with it. And by the way, that does pop off fairly easily. And I want to mention this now. It's a little strange the way they've built this, because the socket inside the chest is a polycap. The actual ball joint going here, and then the thing that the shoulder is plugged into there, is also a polycap. That's weird. Like, you rarely get polycap material plugged into polycap material, but it works. It's strange, but it works. And, I mean, you can tighten up the shoulders like that, and like I said, these are just on a hinge, and you can get the shoulder out to that degree. His arm cannot actually go completely straight, just the way the elbow is designed. You do get bicep rotation. And this is where I was saying that maybe it's a bit of a lie to say that no glue is required, because frankly, I would definitely glue all of the seams when it comes to these arms. Now, I did not glue the bicep, but I should have when I did it. I did glue a little bit of the forearm, and the main reason why is because I added some articulation due to instruction from a comment. And while he has this single jointed elbow, which is great to go that way, but then when you go this way, you end up separating the arm due to, you know, leverage. What you can do, inside of this gray piece, which is the cool little buckle thing that holds the Draymond killer on. Also, why couldn't they just make those solid? It would look better. They already pre-painted it, or not pre-painted, but, you know, gave it a nice silver finish. Either way, so right here in the middle of this forearm is, in fact, a dual circular section that this clamps around. Now, it plugs into the wrist down here, and then the back of the thing plugs into the back of the hand. So the only connection you have to the Draymond killer and this gray piece are here to the lower part of the wrist. If you cut it right down the middle, it gives you forearm rotation, which is something that the original amplified version is sorely lacking. Also, I want to point out the thumbnail there is painted, just Gundam marker white. Couldn't tell you which one it was. May have been the Gundam base set. I don't remember. Could have been the Barbatos white. I don't actually know. It's not that big a deal. Just Gundam marker white. Also, you got some clawsies. You got some nice clausies there. Okay, so down to the hips. Now that we've talked about that, you do get these little hippie flappies, which is kind of cool, not gonna lie. You could glue this whole section together if you feel like it. You don't have to, but you can. You actually don't have to glue anything. Also, his front crotch plate does have a little bit of movement to it for all that matters. The hips themselves do have a drop down mechanism so that you can kind of get a little bit more out to the side, which is good. But so you can see all the way up, all the way down, and you can kick all the way forward. You can kick a good bit back as well. You got thigh rotation, and then I did actually glue these thighs together using thin cement. I just need to buff it if I'm going to do anything else to it. I just got lazy by that point, so I did seam it because it was just annoying. And then the knee joint here, which is interesting because it's polycap material, knee joint together. And I did on one of the knees, I glued it together. I just don't know which one it was. It might have been this one. So you can get about that much movement out of it before you start bunking your ropes, hoses. I'm not entirely certain what those would be. So not bad, not bad. The silver armor bits here aren't terrible. The seams are actually pretty good up here. However, once you get down here, it's nearly impossible to get that to close. Now, I don't know if that's because I painted the red parts. I mean, mind you, it's not like a heavy coat of paint. But it won't close up. It's like the shape is not 100%. And I guess if I try hard enough, I can, you know, get it to squeeze. I don't know if I can technically glue it or not, but you know, that is a very annoying thing. The other thing I glued together was the feet because they have a decent seam line here, so I just went ahead and glued that. Just basically ultra thin cement along the entire edge. Squeeze hard. And then the ankle is also polycap material, just two pieces put together, like some of these other Bandai figures and or models. Actually, it's pretty common on the Figure-Eye standards. So one end goes up here, it has a diagonal cut, and the other end plugs into the foot. It's actually pretty good for movement, if I'm honest with you. It's a little weird, but it's good. You know, you got plenty of movement here. And then you got the big old silver toesies. Now, if I wanted to, I guess I could have painted all the silver after I'd nipped it all off of the runner. You know, probably would have made myself a little bit happier with that helmet and stuff. And in theory, I could still do that. I just have to do something about the eye stickers, which, you know, I'm not keen on removing, but it is what it is. Come on, zoom all the way out. There we go. So for size-wise, let's see here. He is roughly the same height, give or take, of an HG IBO build. Are you going to focus on something? No, focus over there. There we go. So, I mean, that'll give you a good idea, roughly, of how big it is. Roughly 7 some odd inches, 6, 7 inches. And we have a Wally as well. So you can see there, you know, Wally comes up a little past his knee, head-wise. But that's good. It's always good to measure with your Wally. Make sure it's a good height with your Wally. And if you happen to have an action base, and it does have this type of plug on it, the HG style plug. You know, focus here. Thank you. You can plug it into his butt. So he has a nice little hole in his butt. I guess better there than in the crotch, I guess, realistically. So you can get him to be kind of floating or flying, because we know that he could just kind of fly somehow. Yeah, let's utilize the bicep rotation and that forearm rotation. Get him in a nice intimidating pose. You know, just kind of... I mean, the only thing he really honestly needs is more abs. Like, because it's just a big ball joint, and that's it. Like, you could use a bit more of an ab crunch to make him a little bit more flexible in that arena as it goes. So, you know what we have to do now. All right, let's get amplified. Dear God. So, if somehow you had it in your brain that the amplified version looked like a normal WARGREYMON, this will show you clearly. Nope. Like, you can really see, like, I'm gonna have to back up a little bit here, because there's a massive, not only size difference, but stylistically very different. I mean, like, if you wanted to take it in a very interesting direction, you would consider this to be like literally an amplified version of a Mega Digivolve, Greymon. Like, this guy is like very svelte, very, very purposeful, other than the giant feet as usual, because he does have the ridiculous, like, Draymond type feet. The shoulder spikes are ridiculous. The horns are ridiculous. The claws are ridiculous. I do love the exposed hands on this one. Design-wise, it's just cool. Doesn't it? Oh, it does have forward rotation. It's just right here. I don't remember if that's not a modification. I think it is just a thing. Either way, his legs are super loose. Could be due to the fact of the, polycap material in there. Also, his hair, a big difference is this one's hair comes out the back, like, outwardly, and this one is very kind of slicked down instead of, coming back up. Let's see, where's his plug? Okay, he does have the plug in the back too. So honestly, I need to put him on a stand, because he's just going to keep doing this. But, like, that is an absurd difference between these two models of the same, essentially the same creature. That is a huge redesign. No pun intended, taking a picture. But I will say, something about this one's, the eyes being more sunk in is better. Also, this one's eyes are a little bit smaller, a little bit more focused. So I think that makes a bit of a difference in his expression. Good God, those hips are just so loose. It's also that his feet are smooth. But then, like, something about this one's eyes just makes it look very young and cartoony. And I get, maybe if we want to call this was his first time when they did that, like, emergency Digivolution against, who did they, was that the giant version of, is it Diaboromon? I forgot, either way. So, yeah, whenever they first did the Mega Digivolution, when they shot themselves with arrows, and then Mega Digivolved from there. But either way, where's the focus? I just realized it's just there we go. So there you go. There's your main difference. And I'm gonna try to do a video after this, maybe put it on shorts and see if it works or not. But I don't know if I can do it, but we'll see. But let's get the big one out of here real quick. Which is still taking up a significant amount of the desk as we go. So either way, guys, this one, pretty cool. I picked it up from Gundam Planet, but you can probably get it at a lot of different places where they sell, any Gundam kits, honestly. And they need to do more. Like, stop focusing exclusively on the two mains. There were so many good Digimon in that one. The Mega Digivolutions, all of them, the Ultras, all would be fine. I would just give me all of the season 1. I'd be happy. Original Digimon Adventure Cass, I would be happy. I do wish his head could move independently of his neck instead of the whole thing functioning as one. That is kind of annoying. And I don't think I'm doing anything wrong there. I think it's just how it was designed. Though part of me wonders if it could be doable because of where that neck plate plugs in. I don't know, maybe there's further modification in the future. But for now, it's a good kit. It's fairly affordable. And if you're a Digimon fan, it's a must. And you don't need glue, but if you really want those seams to go away, especially in the arms and the legs, I suggest using a little bit of thin cement and then buffing. If you're not going to paint the orange, just buff it out. If you want to paint the silver, the red, and stuff like that, by all means. And I did mean to paint the buckles in here because it's a cool detail to make it look like buckles, like he's actually got this strapped to his arm. I just haven't done it yet. I will. Maybe after I see if I can modify the neck. But either way. So, quick little update here. I did the thing. He can now turn his head without turning his neck. And it was as simple as literally just cutting it across there. Just got to be wary that the top of that ball joint won't necessarily fit. It could probably use a little bit of sanding just to clean it up. But, now I've got some extra neck movement and head movement, and that gives him a lot more personality. So now we got modified arms and modified neck. So definitely a suggestion for everybody to do. If you're comfortable with it, that is. I'll catch you guys on the next one, which you guys should be able to predict what it's going to be. But until then, keep on building.